You can change the race time.
You just can't change the race time.
Of course you can change the race time.
You can't just change the race time.
You can just pick up a race and put it over there. All right. Of course you can change a race time. How would you not be able to change a race time? What you do is you say, look, I don't really feel like racing now, but I do then. So let's race then. And then what happens is the FIA go, it's a good idea.
It's also going to rain, so let's just move it. We're making a podcast.
Do you not understand? This is the most successful motorsport podcast to come out of York.
How disrespectful that
plane
dare
is. You? Double look back. Acosta said that really wound him up.
Yeah.
After the race, he said, "Nobody overtakes me," and then looks back at me. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ahead of the Apex. We are once again talking about MotoGP. Woo!
Woo.
And that was a good woo-woo.
It was.
That was a really good woo-woo.
Clip it.
Clip it! That voice you heard was Jake. Say hi, Jake.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Jake. You won't catch me this time.
I will. And the reason we're talking about MotoGP is because nothing else. Formula One has had another 3-week break, which of course means that they should have just moved Miami by an entire weekend backwards in time. And then we'd have had a better space and there'd have been no rain. But anyway.
You can't just change the race.
Can't just change the race time. We were going to talk about the 6 hours of Spa, but that is a chunky episode because it turns out that BMW decided that they hate Ferrari. So they decided to take out the Ferraris.
Who doesn't hate Ferrari?
Bit rude. And then you, when Lando Norris goes there next year. But
he's not going to Ferrari.
He is. He's going to Ferrari. He's going to follow in his best friend's footsteps, his idol's footsteps, Lewis Hamilton. And go to Ferrari. So, yeah, there's quite a lot to talk about there. And just decided that I would wait for Tim to be back. We'd dedicate a full thing to Belgium and probably Le Mans, or the build-up to Le Mans, which will be in a week's time from now.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah, 2 weeks from recording, week from episode coming out.
Yeah, I'm not a big WEC viewer. I watch the highlights and that's about it.
Which one? Which highlight video?
From WEC.
No. Which one? Oh, you don't know? No. Okay. How long is the video?
It's like 20 minutes.
Right, okay. So you watch the first thing that comes out.
Yeah.
Okay, so WEC is so good, man. It's so good the way that WEC do this. So, picture this. WEC race happened last weekend. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, the 20-minute highlight video comes out of the hypercar and the LMGT3 race. Always around about 20 to 25 minutes, somewhere in that region. If nothing really happens, it's about 17.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Then, next weekend, a video comes out that is 50 to 60 minutes long. That is a highlight video that's 50 to 60 minutes long. And that includes some of the other setup bits. So, like, if something happens in the race, something dramatic happens, like the BMWs colliding with the Ferraris, that's shown in the 17-minute highlights. In the 50 to 60-minute highlight video, what's shown is like the build up to that incident, the laps before that incident, right? And then the weekend after or the weekend after that, so we're talking like a full month now behind the race, the entire 6-hour video is dumped online. By WEC.
Nice.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's really inclusive because if you don't want to pay 200 odd euros to watch it live, you will get to see it live.
Is this by chance a message to Formula One and MotoGP to make this stuff available for free?
Well, I wouldn't want to say that. So F1 do post highlight videos.
Yeah.
They're about 7. The free practice ones are about 3 minutes long. The quali ones are about 5 minutes long. And the race ones are about 8 minutes long, give or take.
Yeah.
MotoGP do post highlights, but not themselves. It's usually TNT Sports that post the highlight videos, and they're usually about 3.5 to 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Everything else MotoGP related is behind a paywall, apart from Instagram clips.
Yep.
F1 do post things, and they do post legacy races in full. But at least in this country, the UK, I don't know of a way to watch F1 for free.
No, I don't think you can.
Like not even by saying I'll watch it in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
So I guess WEC's thing is like, yes, they need the TV rights, they need the broadcasting rights, and they need the income that comes from that, from the dedicated fan base. But they also need to generate a bigger dedicated fan base. So the way they do that is they post everything online for free. And actually, a lot of the teams will have a live broadcast from the car. So like Ferrari do this thing where they stick a GoPro or whatever it is inside Giovinazzi's car.
Yeah, I've seen McLaren.
And inside Kubica's car and whatever else. And you can just sit and watch for 6 hours inside Giovinazzi's car, which is cool. It's really cool.
McLaren does clips from inside their LMG. So
that's kind of cool. I mean, you don't get anything. You can't hear him. You can't hear the team radio, and you don't get any commentary. And predominantly, you're looking sort of out of the front corner of the car, like over his shoulder a bit, but you can't really see much.
Yeah,
but it's cool. It's immersive. It is cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're awesome. I'm assuming if it's on YouTube, they'll make ad money as well. Which
So anyway, we're still in a period where the 6 hours of Spa video has only been the 17, 18-minute video.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting until my plan is to wait until at least the 60-minute video comes out. MotoGP it is, and it has been a while since you and I have talked MotoGP on this podcast.
It is.
So Tim and I mentioned Jerez, which we talked about Marquez winning despite coming off, which was quite spicy. The last time you and I talked about it, it's just been the Brazilian Grand Prix. No, because we did mention the US Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Because that was Bez's arguably weakest victory. Since then, since you and I last talked about MotoGP, Bez hasn't won a race.
Have we jinxed him?
He didn't win in Jerez. He didn't win in Le Mans.
He was awful at Catalonia.
He was awful at Catalonia. Yeah. He hasn't won. We jinxed him. We said in the last MotoGP episode, Bez is going to do it. Bez is going to be the best.
Sorry, Bez.
Simply the Bez.
Really, really sorry, Bez.
Just for copyright purposes, that was simply the Bez, not simply the best.
AI won't care, mate.
Don't sue me.
AI won't care.
In Le Mans, then, which was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks, yeah.
Martin did the double, man.
I was so happy.
Why?
I
didn't realize you were a Martin fan.
I'm not. I just. It's nice to have a world champion do well. That isn't Mark.
It's nice to have a world champion do well. What about Fabio Quartararo?
Is he doing well?
Joan Mir?
Is he doing well?
Yeah.
When he's not throwing it off the bike, yeah.
He finished second in Barcelona. He was then given a 16-second penalty. But he finished second. He crossed the line in second. And as we've had our rant about post race pens on this podcast, so just turn it off. Mir finished second. There you go.
Yeah.
Never look at the results again. So Martin,
he was good.
P8 on the grid, super quick start, like insane
that overtake on Bez
into turn 4.
Whoa.
Yeah. Made it from P8 to snatch the lead into turn 4 after swooping around the outside of Bez, as That's Jez. Swooping on the outside of Bez, as Jake has just said. God, that's tricky.
Too many words.
Too many words. Words are tricky.
Words hard.
Factory Aprilias led Factory Ducatis until Acosta and Mir overtook Marc. Martin ran away with it from there, even though Bez made a mistake. Big drama came on the penultimate lap as a struggling Marc ran slightly offline at the last couple of corners. The front end folded, sending him into a massive high side, as we talked about last week. So, what was kind of special about this race is that, first of all, it's Martin's first Grand Prix victory since 2024.
Yep.
Secondly, it's Aprilia's first 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Because Agura finished third.
Yes. It's obviously it's nice to have someone that isn't Ducati get a 1, 2, 3. But I think it kind of proves that Aprilia are there this year. It's not just a fluke. It's not just, it's not just Bez and no one else can do it. The bike is just a very good bike this year. It's impressive. It's impressive. It hopefully this, my feeling at the time was like, hopefully this creates something between Marc and Ducati and Aprilia and maybe there's a fight. Now, probably not.
I completely glossed over the fact that overtake on Bez was in the sprint, and then now we're talking about the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Just like to clarify, Martin won the sprint with a nice overtake around Bez. Marc came off in the sprint. Then, the next day... the next day, Martin wins the race. Aprilia get a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Acosta looked quick as well. Very quick.
He does. It's... I have to admit, it's exciting watching him be fast, but then you know full well that the tires are just going to go...
Yeah, but was he not chasing them down in the dying stages?
He was.
He was in third, right? Chasing down the factory Aprilias. Yeah. And then through comes Agura, because Aprilia have insane tyre life.
Insane tyre life, and just Agura is just good at the end of the race.
And then along comes Diggia.
Yep.
Now, this is for later in this recording. But the way Diggia looked at Acosta as he overtook him. Yeah. And I'll put the picture like here in the video. Like that. Double look back. Acosta said that really wound him up.
Yeah.
After the race, he said, "Nobody overtakes me," and then looks back at me. So yes, that really wound him up.
That's going to get spicy.
Well, fast forward a week, and we have Alex Marquez winning the sprint, the closest sprint finish in history to Acosta. It was basically them the whole way through.
Yep.
And the whole way through the first half of the first part of the race, of the first race, but not the second race, but the first race.
Before the first red flag.
The whole part of the first race, but the half of the original race.
This is going to get confusing.
Yeah. Yeah. So fast forward a week. Binder got a little nudge from Diggia in the sprint, took Mir out. Of course it was Mir. Of course it was Mir.
He's cursed.
Of course. He was just minding his own business on the outside of turn 1. Along comes Diggia. Binder gets a little nudge from Diggia, and of course it's Mir that he hits.
Do you think it's just because it's a red bike now, it's just a target?
I have no idea. Fernandez looked quick as well, battling with the top 2. Acosta eventually had the advantage, and Diggia then, his tyre life, just wow. Also wow. No Aprilias anywhere, Jake. Where were the Aprilias? Apart from Fernandez.
Don't know.
He was on an Aprilia.
Gone.
Agura was nowhere. Bez had
15th.
Bez had no pace, and Martin fell off.
Yeah.
On to the Sunday. So the first half of the original race, which we're now going to call race 1.
My brain hurts.
And again, Alex and Acosta battling in turn 1, giving each other no space. This time, advantage Acosta. So Alex chasing him down. But as we talked about last week, there were some incidents. So mainly, it seems, KTM's fault for all of it. Everything. all of it. Binder had an issue on the grid. Acosta had an issue on lap 12.
Yep.
Bastianini had an issue lap 10, caused him to retire. So the only working KTM was Mav Vinales. How did he finish 11th? How did he finish 11th? Every single person behind him got a penalty. Augusto Fernandez finished behind him on the Yamaha, but he was a wild card rider.
Yeah.
How has Maverick Vinales... I mean, I know he's just come back from injury, but how has he finished 11th behind Morbidelli and Moreira and Agura, who also got a penalty? How has that happened?
I don't know.
Anyway, so Binder has an issue, Acosta has an issue, Bastianini has an issue. That's 3 out of 4. So not good from them.
Nope.
Fernandez was right in the mix with them the whole time, battling Acosta and battling Marquez. That was good to see.
Yep.
Bez, nowhere. Absolutely friggin' nowhere. And I can remember them bringing up the live championship, because Martin was on it in the race. And them going like, oh, Bez he'll be lucky if he leaves here with 5 points between him and Martin ahead at the lead of the championship. Somehow, that guy has come home with 13 points while his nearest championship rival got 0.
Yeah, it's
in the whole weekend.
It's like someone gave him 2 dice and he just decided to roll it before the race and he just got double sixes.
It's absolutely insane.
Everything just seemed to go his way, even though he was slow.
Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. So in the end of the first half of the Grand Prix that ended up being the end of race 1.
Ow.
We've got Acosta, Marquez, Fernandez, Martin, and Diggia and Zarco battling for the lead of this race.
Yep.
6 riders on very different bikes.
A lot of them, yeah.
Then Acosta's KTM gives up the ghost. He tries to pull over, but Marquez is too close. Pings into the barrier. And, we talked about this crash last week. So probably not going to talk about it now. So then we have the start of race 2, which isn't actually the start of race 2 because it lasted all of one corner.
Didn't even really last one corner.
Where Diggia gets a terrible start. Acosta gets a reasonable start. Zarco gets a terrible start, ends up in the back of Marini and inside Bagnaio's bike. And then we have the actual start of race 2, which is the third start of the day.
Yep.
Which is the start of the second half of the original length of the Grand Prix, because it was almost exactly split in 2.
Ow.
Yep. So,
brain.
Everybody got away nice and calm.
Yep.
Jorge Martin was absolutely on it.
He was pushing.
And then what happened at turn 5?
Whee!
Great. I was looking for some words.
You got one.
Like maybe some words of wisdom. So Martin does this thing. I don't know if you've seen it, where in turn 5 at Barcelona, which is the sort of downhill left-hander before we drop down, go up the chicane and go back up to the infamous now turn 9 and turn 10 that we've been talking about all of last week.
Yep.
Where he basically drops his entire shoulder parallel to the circuit and just rubs along the road.
Yep.
Fernandez knows this. Raul Fernandez dies.
I mean, I think everyone is aware that he does it at that corner, but
he'd left a space on the inside.
Yeah.
And these two have been battling for pretty much most of the Grand Prix and some of the sprint on the day before. So Raul Fernandez decides, I'm going to go for this. I've got 11 laps to prove why I deserve a factory Aprilia seat when he leaves next year.
Yeah.
Dives up the inside. Both of them pick up the bikes. Raul knocks him off his bike. And then there is a brilliant bit in the footage where Massimo Rivola goes down to shout at the
leaving Trackhouse.
The Trackhouse Aprilia team. And he's like, after the race, we're going to talk. He doesn't do that. You calm him down, something like that. Based on his hand gestures and what I can make from his mouth movement.
Yeah. Bear in mind that track, is he the CEO, runner, team team principal of Trackhouse, is leaving at the end of the year.
He sure is, yeah.
That it just seems like he just won't care.
No.
He's like,
but also, I pose this question to you, actually. This isn't the topic of the conversation. Hang on. Yeah, let's do it now. Is it the job of Toro Rosso to make Red Bull's life easier?
No.
Is it the job of Trackhouse Aprilia to make Factory Aprilia's life easier?
No.
Is it the job of Grassini Ducati to make Lenovo Ducati's job easier?
No.
So what's his problem?
Exactly.
Seriously, what's his problem?
They
are a customer team.
Yeah.
They buy the bike from you. So they've already done their bit for you.
Yep.
And in return,
you get data.
You get data.
That's it. That's the transaction.
That's the transaction.
If you don't like it, don't sell them a bike.
Now, okay, there are certain riders on the grid. I'm thinking Morbidelli.
I mean, looking at F1 in Haas, Behrman.
Yes, that's exactly where my brain was going.
Yeah.
There are certain riders and drivers who are academy riders and drivers, right? So what I wouldn't expect is for Behrman to just absolutely nail it up the inside of Lewis Hamilton.
And just take him out.
Every opportunity.
Because he wants that seat.
But equally, it's not Behrman's job to sit there and play second fiddle.
No.
To the Ferrari team.
No.
It's his job to go out there and do the best job he can do.
He's contracted to Haas. He should be driving for Haas in that seat.
Correct.
He shouldn't be driving at the prospect of possibly getting that Ferrari seat.
Should he approach an overtake on a Ferrari differently to the way he would approach an overtake on a McLaren?
In my opinion, no.
Right.
But he might.
He might have this little part in the back of his head that's like, they're my boss.
Maybe give him a little bit more space.
Yes.
Which is fine. Because, if he wants that seat, he's got to perform, and that's a good way to show that I respect you as my employer or future employer.
So, is it the job of Raul Fernandez to back out of a very clear overtake?
No.
Because Martin was at least 2.5 bikes off the apex.
He for a good few laps, he'd been going wide on that corner and doing his shoulder thing.
Yeah.
So Raul just used his brain and just went, boom, gap. I'll take it.
Actually, looking at this, it's the job of Martin not to lean in front of another bike.
Yeah, it's just silly at that point.
It's just silly. He's a world champion rider, albeit in a very lucky situation. But he's a world champion. He's a world champion rider. He's a world champion level rider. But a little part of me, when I did go back and, as I mentioned last week, watch Diggia's 2023 season and then watch Valencia 23, Martin in there rides with such desperation at 2023 Valencia. And I get it. He's watched the World Championship slip away from him, 23. But that Martin came out in the third part of the original Grand Prix at the start of the second half of the race on Sunday.
Okay.
That Martin was like, my nearest rival is nowhere. My bike's actually pretty quick. I can win this race.
Yep.
That rider came out, and I think actually that incident was entirely his fault. And I don't think Massimo Rivola should be going down to his customer team and shouting at them like it's somehow their responsibility to help the factory team out in any other way other than provide them with data.
I'm very much in agreement with Zach Brown in this sort of situation where
we don't talk about him on this podcast.
Okay. If a customer team is provided by, a manufacturer like Ducati, like Aprilia, like Red Bull, like Ferrari, you shouldn't be giving your sort of, I won't say parent team, but provider of the parts.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be giving them preferential treatment over anyone else.
No, I mean, Lando Norris messes up the start fairly, never mind who's in second place.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
All of last year, he messed up every single start and let anybody through who's in the top four. Fairly. It didn't matter whether it was Russell, Max, his own teammate,
okay,
Leclerc. Yeah?
Yeah, fair. Okay.
There was no preferential treatment there.
No. Okay.
No.
So it does quite...
Got him.
It does infuriate me to a degree that there is the expectation from factory teams and, you know, Ferrari and Mercedes and whatever, that their customer teams should give them a different treatment on track.
So I actually think Ducati do this really well.
To a degree, yeah. I think they kind of don't expect their customer teams to do.
They let
stuff.
one of their customer teams win the World Championship a couple of years ago.
Exactly. They don't.
I say let. They allowed the competition to go on fairly and competitively right up until the very last race without intervening with upgrades that weren't for both of them or engines that weren't for the same spec.
It was pretty fairly until they ended up leaving.
Well, he left for a different reason.
Sure.
Mark came to Ducati. and I'll tell you, when Jesus Christ himself comes to town, you make room at the inn.
Sure.
Right?
It's, you know, we get it a little bit more in Formula One, I think, to a degree.
Yeah.
Just because I think there is an expectation in MotoGP to have a little bit of fairness and competition.
Yeah.
Obviously, when it gets risky to riders' safety, I think that's when the conversation would need to shift. But in Formula One, there has been for a good long time the way that Toro Rosso or AlphaTauri or whatever they decide to call themselves next year, either appear in front of a Red Bull, there is an expectation that they'll just let them through. And I think that is disappointing, especially if it's track position and not just lapping a car.
Yeah.
Because it kind of takes away the competition to a degree. You know,
a little.
It's McLaren is against, you know, Lando Norris is against 19 other drivers. Max against 17, if not 16.
Yeah, but he dominates them all. Anyway, let's finish the race because that's not even the bit that I wanted to get onto.
Yeah.
So, Acosta's leading Mir, Aldeguer, Diggia and Agura in the final laps of the race. Diggia works his way through because he's the GOAT. Then Mir gets through on Acosta. Then Aldeguer gets through on Acosta. And then on the very last corner, Agura decides, I'm going to get through on Acosta. I'm going to get this place. And then he does this wild lunge up the inside into the very last corner, takes Pedro Acosta out of the race, and gets a 3-second penalty, long lap penalty after the race.
Yep.
So, as we just said, Diggia's first win since Qatar 23. Again, once again proving that he is Ducati's best rider this year, and I am so ready for a championship fight for that. He said, it's been a good day at the end, not for the performances, but just knowing that everybody is more or less okay. That's great news, I think, for our sport, because we know that our sport is amazing. Aldeguer back on the podium.
Yep.
After we said there's no way he'll be back at riding fitness, and it's like race 6 and he's back on the podium.
Yep.
So he broke his femur in preseason. Was it his femur? It was a big bone.
Was it his leg or his arm?
Leg.
Yeah, possibly femur.
He said, to achieve this kind of result with other riders in the hospital is not nice, but we are professional riders. It was difficult to manage the mental side. I need more time to understand how I can arrive at the top. Bagnaia, who inherited a podium, he ends Ducati's 10-race podiumless streak, and that's factory Ducati.
Yep.
I just want to say thanks to the team for the job, the hard work they are doing. A 3rd place, but I don't feel like I deserve this 3rd place. For the championship, it's good, and the team is deserving of it for the work that they are always doing. So the reason Bagnaia got a podium is because there were 5 riders penalised for tyre infringement after the race. Joan Mir, Alex Rins, Jack Miller, Toprak, Razgat Lioglu, and Raul Fernandez were all under the limit and received 16-second time penalties, and obviously Agura received a 3-second time penalty for his overtake. I'm not touching post-race penalties again. I hate it so much. What I do want to talk about in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes of this podcast, Jake, is rivalries.
Yep.
So, the reason I think F1 feels a bit dry at the moment is because there are no burning rivalries. Now, I think that's about to change. I do think that's about to change.
It feels like the first few races of the last sort of 5-6 seasons, rivalries are difficult to generate. It's kind of media built.
But everybody's friends.
We're all friends.
Oh, well done, Kimi. You've done a good race.
Yeah.
Well done, George. You've had a good race. Well done, Lando.
The sport has drastically changed.
You're the last man standing in the sprint. Well done. But go back to 2021, exceptional.
Hamilton fans won't like it.
Absolutely exceptional. And even I would say if 22 had carried on competitively, I don't think Charles and Max have that rivalry in them.
Max is capable of creating a rivalry with anyone just because he is Max.
Sure.
But I think Leclerc is too nice, peaceful, pleasant. Yeah. He's just a nice person. I think that's kind of makes it difficult to generate a natural rivalry. I think it would need to sort of like media generate, which is not a bad thing. You know, media generally overhypes things. That's kind of their job.
Yeah.
But I don't think Leclerc will ever be able to create that rivalry without there being a purpose.
Probably not. And then before that, we're going sort of 2017, Vettel and Hamilton before the sort of the Baku incident that then they became really good friends afterwards.
Yeah.
Rosberg and Hamilton, obviously.
That was great.
Forget that. Vettel and Webber. Vettel and Button.
Well.
Yeah. Massa and Hamilton.
Alonso and Hamilton.
With Alonso and Schumacher. Schumacher and Raikkonen. Schumacher and Montoya. Hakkinen and Schumacher.
There's been a lot with Schumacher.
Oh, the dominant driver always has a rival, right? What I'm saying is, when there's a good rivalry in F1 is good. Okay?
Yeah, it's... I mean, I was only young, but Schumacher era generally felt there was a lot more rivalry and competition. And
yes. And I think the same is true of MotoGP. So I'm thinking Rossi Gibernau, Rossi Lorenzo.
That was a good rivalry.
Rossi Marquez.
Yeah.
Rossi Ross. No. But I can't really think of a rivalry that existed. Well, Martin and Bagnaia. But I can't think of one because now they're friends. I can't think of one from the last couple of years, and it's felt a bit flat. But, and the reason I bring that picture up, I think we're about to get a good rivalry for third in the championship if the Aprilias come back in good form. If not, Diggia is now on 116 points to Bezzecchi's 142. So he and Acosta is on 92. So neither one of them is really out of it yet. Yeah. Right? There's not a huge hurdle to get over. But this thing with Diggia and Acosta is building up, and I like it. There was the whole looking over the shoulder at Le Mans thing. I really wanted him to look over his shoulder when he overtook him in Barcelona. I thought that would have been phenomenal. But for that rider to be the one who denies Acosta his first win.
Yeah.
After everything that's just happened in that race.
That's I think if it's not these two, I feel like Acosta will just pick Aguirre just because he booted him off the circuit.
Maybe. But I'm also wondering whether we might get something we've not seen since Rosberg and Hamilton, which is a teammate rivalry between Martin and Bez. Because it's all friendly now, but Martin was furious that it was Fernandez who knocked him off. And he was furious he's probably furious because he's given away so many points to Bez at a weekend where Bez was nowhere.
Yeah, perfect opportunity for him to get.
Bez isn't going to be nowhere forever.
No.
He's going to come back. It's just Spain sucks for him.
Yeah.
These are the weekends you need to capitalize on.
Yep.
These are the things that build villain arcs. And I can see Canada is in what, like 2 hours?
Starts, I think, yeah.
I can see the same in Mercedes. I can see that being the same.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few people agreeing with you sort of on social media that
oh god, it's like 5 hours away.
There is this idea that rivalry between Kimi and George exists already. There is an argument for that. But I think if it continues the way it is, it will build and build and build and build. And Mercedes have had it before, so they'll have a little bit of experience dealing
Mercedes
with it.
have been here before. Well, it nearly happened at McLaren last year, right?
Yeah. I think it'd be I think it'd be more difficult for Mercedes this year to pick one.
Oh yeah,
because when it was Rosberg and Hamilton, it was quite easy to just go, well, Hamilton's won the title like 4 times at this point. We're going to, give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a world champion, but Rosberg, you're not. Neither of George and Kimi are world champions. They both won races. They're both at a similar point in their results, not necessarily in duration of career.
Be,
Josh has a few more wins. That's about it.
It won't be long before that changes, though. George Russell.
He's got what, 6?
You want to take a guess?
I can take a guess at 6, maybe 7.
6 is correct.
Yeah.
And Antonelli has...
I think 4.
I love the way that Wikipedia works sometimes, where like you click on a Wikipedia page and it's just wikipedia.com/Kimi_Antonelli. Right, but George Russell is George_Russell_brackets racing_driver brackets.
That's because there'll be a George Russell from somewhere else in the world.
So Kimi has 3 wins. I don't know why I needed to figure that out. There were 4 races and he's won 3 of them.
Yeah.
And China was his first race. So Kimi's got half the race wins.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no reason why Mercedes should and will support George over Kimi.
If Kimi keeps the way he's going, I think George is done.
Yeah,
at Mercedes. Like there is no chance that he's going to get picked for a title charge.
In kind of much the same way, actually, Aprilia don't have to support Bez or Martin. Like, yes, Martin is a world champion, but he's also not here next year.
He's not here next year. He didn't win the title on that bike. He's also not won very much races on that bike.
Spent all of last year kicking off and injured and complaining that he wanted out of a contract he never agreed to.
Until the point where he hit a race and came back, and then there's a lot of. It's not a pleasant relationship that Martin has had with Aprilia for the last year.
No.
It's been iffy at best. So I can see them just picking Bez. Bez has sort of come in, had maybe a few difficult years on that bike, come in, won races, done really well, proved that partnership works. I can see Aprilia just going, Bez exists, see you, Martin.
But I really want a rivalry between Acosta and Diggia. I think Diggia's got a good chance, actually, because he's been super consistent, whereas the Aprilias have been up and down a lot as they've approached the European portion of the calendar. If Diggia can keep it consistent, he'll work his way into this fight, where he's only 11 points behind Martin.
Yeah. To be fair, I think these, bearing in mind how good Aprilia have been, I generally think Diggia and Acosta have been the 2 most consistent riders of the year.
Yeah.
Because Mark's been nowhere. Alex has not been anywhere.
Well, I don't expect Mark or Alex to be back until the Italian Grand Prix.
Exactly.
Well, not even till after the summer break, probably.
And Bez has been consistent up to the last sort of few races where he's reasonably struggled, and Martin hasn't really been anywhere. Mm-hmm. Martin's only sort of, I won't say looked his way into the title hunt, but he's there on a good bike, getting podiums and race wins on occasion, doing really well in the sprint, whereas Bez isn't. That's how he's got to the point where he is. So if Diggia and Acosta continue their sort of level of performance and sort of near the podium or on the podium, I don't think Martin's going to be later in the year. I don't think he's going to be even in the top 3, just because consistency matters. And if you're consistent in the sprint, that's great. But if Bez is winning every race, which he's generally better on a Sunday than he is on a Saturday.
Yep.
Martin, you're going to be losing points to him regularly. You've missed your chance. Yes, you were pushed off the road, but you've missed your chance to kind of gain a foothold on that title now. You've missed that sort of confidence boosting moment of, look at me, I'm Aprilia's number 1 rider today. I am amazing.
This is Brazil.
Yeah. He's missed that. He's missed the opportunity. I don't think he's going to get another one. And consistency, like we saw last year with Mark.
Yeah, there's something about consistency.
Consistency just matters more than, getting a race win here, sprint win here, and then not performing for 3 races. Consistency is just, it's that confidence boost. Oh, look, I can get a podium every race weekend. I can keep doing this. And you just get better and better and better and better. And that's why I think, Martin's not going to be, when we get to sort of September, sort of after summer break, a few races after, I don't think there's going to be that many upgrades, if any at all, for anyone. I think that's when we'll be like, okay, who's the top 3? I'm going to call it now, Bez, Diggia and Acosta. Alex and Mark aren't going to be in it. I don't think Martin's going to be in it right now just because of how his results don't...
old.
He's not as consistent as everyone else that's in the hunt. And if you take out those 4, who else is there?
Yeah, good point.
Just stating how I see it. And it'd be quite interesting to have 2 rivalries in the top 4 fighting out for the podium every race weekend.
I think, we need a good rivalry. Motorsport needs a good rivalry. Right. Let us know at home. Let us know in the comments. Head over to Patreon or head over to Spotify and let us know in the comments who your favourite rivalry of the last... Let's put a time limit on it. No, you know what? Stuff it. I did that last time. Let us know your greatest motorsport rivalry. Doesn't matter where it was from. Yeah. Last 70, 80 years of motorsport. Let us know. I like Ford and Ferrari in endurance racing. I also like Lauda and Hunt, but I particularly enjoyed Vettel and Alonso in Formula One. And in terms of MotoGP, Rossi and Marquez, definitely.
I think Formula One's a little bit more tricky for me. But I think for MotoGP, I think it's wasn't really a rivalry. The one I would pick would be Stoner and Rossi, but I think...
nice. Yeah.
I think the rivalry that I would prefer, they were kind of a similar sort of level, is Lorenzo and Rossi.
Yeah, okay.
Teammates.
Sure.
Formula One is probably...
Russell and Antonelli.
I don't know. I'd kind of say Rosberg and Hamilton.
It was good.
It was a good, and as an onlooker and as a McLaren fan, dealing with us basically being on the regular grid, it was kind of interesting to have that close a rivalry in a team that kind of felt at any point it could be fists being thrown.
As long as it's only fists.
As long as it's only fists. And you don't change the time of the race.
Excuse me. Right. Head over to Patreon, AAT Apex. Head over to Instagram, AAT Apex. Head over to... Where else are we? Twitter, AAT Apex. Head over to headattheapex.com. No, I'm not on Blue Sky yet.
Shocking.
Should be, right? It's just Twitter, but...
It's Twitter, but better.
Okay. Maybe I'll give that a go. Head over to YouTube, AAT Apex. We're also over there.
Yep.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and please give the podcast a follow on Spotify and wherever else you listen to it. Who knows where. We're also on CastBox.
Never heard of it.
It's like one of the platforms Spotify will distribute to.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of like a radio, but for podcasts.
Interesting. Sounds good.
And we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.